Hello everyone, this is Keith Hoover, founder and CEO of DashPoint Analytics, and today I'm going to be showing you one of our more popular dashboards, a census analysis dashboard. It measures a lot of key performance indicators, including just your occupancy rates, your readmission rates for skilled days, as well as payer mix and length of stay by diagnoses, all sorts of key metrics that a skilled nursing facility or a continuing care retirement community might need. So let's go ahead and dive in. You can see it's up on the screen already. I just want to actually sign out for a second, just for those of you who have not tried out our live demo. You can go to demo.dashpointanalytics.com. And that will bring up this page. And if you haven't created an account, you just hit create account, and it just fill in your name and an email, set a password, and you're off to the races. And you can try out any of our dashboards in a safe demo environment with demo data. It's a great way to evaluate things before you try them out or pay for them. So let's go ahead and get in. And I'm signing in here, and we are going to go to the census analysis dashboard. And I'm going to go ahead and go full screen so you can see a little better here. And the first screen you're going to get to is the occupancy screen. Essentially what this is showing is the trailing 12 months, and you can break it down by level of care or drill even down to buildings and floors and all that sort of thing if you're only interested in a particular area of care. And what you're going to see is this is actually a CCRC. So we have the combined census and the IL, personal care, and healthcare census. And this is showing you as of right now what this demo facility's census is. It includes the bed holds, it includes occupancy rates, and the amount of units available. I just want to pause there and just talk about the occupancy rate. It is smart enough to know that if you have a male and female or a husband and wife, it knows to count it as occupied if it's a single, and also of course a double, and it figures out the occupancy rate accordingly. The same would be true in healthcare if you're dealing with semi-private rooms or private rooms. It knows how to factor in the occupancy rate for those. Now let's look at some of these visualizations. Right here you see the trend over the last 12 months of your admissions and discharges. The light blue being admissions, the dark blue being discharges. You can see this particular facility had a lot of discharges. This is reflective of the time of COVID, and so occupancy rates suffered a bit. But hopefully that's a short-term problem, and will be get corrected soon. This visualization over here is for your CCRCs. You can see the breakdown of your resident population that has had stays in multiple levels of care. For instance, the green section of the pie is illustrating those residents who have had stays not just in, say, IL, personal care, or healthcare, but also stays in other levels of care. So that can be helpful in the sense if you're trying to measure your skilled bed capacity and how much your obligations are to the people on your campus versus outside of your campus. The trend line down here is your average daily census in terms of census days. By the month, you can sort of see the trend line by level of care. Again, if I filter and just choose healthcare, it's going to trend it just for that level of care. And you can see everything adjusted accordingly, including my combined census and my ins and outs, as well as my stays. So everything is interactive. I can click on one thing and it's going to filter everything else. That's how these things work. So let's move on to recent changes. The point of this section is some facilities have a text alert or something anytime there's an admission, discharge, or transfer. This is like a quick snapshot for your VP of operations or your administrator to quickly check and see all of the real-time census changes that are happening. Room availability, this is essentially tracking your occupancy rate. You can see it by each level of care, and you can see the percentage of units available, as well as how many. And then on the center section, it lists out which of those units are available and where they are. One thing I like to point out is this right here. It tells you your turnover rate, how quickly you are turning a unit and filling it, and therefore generating revenue off of it. You can see personal care. We've got some problems here. Maybe we are dealing with some trouble with renovations or something else. And then over on the right, you can actually see the bed holds and where they are. And if I hover over any of them, it's going to actually pop up and show me the resident name and the reason they are on leave. Skilled days and readmission rates. This helps you track your readmission rates, and it can be filtered by the hospital or referral source. It can be filtered by the type of diagnoses, and of course the unit. And it's going to show you your skilled days. It's going to show you your 30-day readmission rate and your 7-day readmission rate, and then actually the names and date ranges of those particular residents are down here. I just want to point out most of our stuff can be exported to Excel. So if you want to drop this out into an Excel file and review it and do your own data manipulation, you can. So payer mix and analysis. This is essentially giving you your current payer mix, and then it also, as soon as this screen populates, it's going to give you a breakdown in terms of the number of payer days per resident for that particular month, so you can sort of see. And again, I can say I only want Medicare, and it's going to filter and highlight that. It's going to break down Med A versus Med Advantage A. You can see the breakdown, the payer days by floor, and of course the filter down here as well. So fairly consistent in the way it works. You can click on the entire month, and it's going to filter the payer mix for that month as well. So you get an idea of how it's all interactive. Length of stay. This is helpful if you're sort of tracking your overall number of days that you might spend on the diagnoses, and it's going to rank them by the most common number of stays and the longest stay. Here's cellulitis of the leg is 30.38 days average. Fractured hip, or actually that's fractured femur, it looks like, but here's a fractured hip, 24.68 days. So you can sort of see how quickly you're discharging folks in rehab by primary diagnoses. And of course, again, you have all your filters up here. This down here is a rolling average of your length of stay by level of care. So I could just click health care, and you're going to see if your length of stay is going up, trending up or down, etc. So demographic analysis, sometimes you just want to know by demographics where your residents are at. You can see the breakdown by age, and this is splitting by gender, by race, by marital status, education, and religion. And again, everything is interactive. If I only want widowed folks, everything else is going to change and show you, the breakdown of every other demographic by that filter. So maybe I only want, Anabaptists, and it's going to show me that they tend to be 87.96 years old. So that kind of thing. The last one is the geographic analysis. This might be useful to your admissions team. It can break down where your folks are coming from. Now, keep in mind we're dealing with demo data, so this is just showing the state of Pennsylvania here. But I could say I only want healthcare, and I'm only actually let's make it more specific here. I can just go into one building here, and the larger the circle, the more folks are coming from that area. I can see by zip code, I can see by city. So that will give you a little idea of where you're pulling folks from, and maybe adjust your marketing accordingly. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. That's all I was going to show you today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can be emailed directly at keith@dashpointanalytics.com or visit our website at www.dashpointanalytics.com, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.